a man with blood on him and he had chains all over him.
Figure of a woman wearing a red coat.
I felt something really, really cold and it was on my right shoulder.
It feels like suddenly, you'd go cold. You shouldn't have bought this house. This is a haunted house.
Hey, my name's Rubie and I've had an interest in the supernatural and paranormal since I was very young. This mainly comes from the spooky stories I used to hear from my mum and my family. My mum came from a first-generation Indian immigrant family of 11 that moved to England in the 1960s. Over the years, I've heard plenty of stories about my family's history, but the stories that interested me most were the ones about the now demolished house they used to live in that was apparently haunted.
You can.
The estate that the house was on was demolished around 1978, and all that lies there today is a medical centre and a green space.
There was a shop on this corner man the street. We used to come out the outdoor shop, little English shop. That used to be the end of Newton Place, and that's exactly our house was under that roof.
This is a map of the street at their time of residence. It was an industrial and residential area and, quote, pleasant place to live. This seemingly inconspicuous environment poses the question, what happened here? The following interview is of my Auntie Mitz, who details a first-hand encounter that she had in the house.
We were 9 siblings and we lived in a old Georgian house. My older brothers and sisters always told us that the house was haunted and to not go to certain places in the house and to always go in twos. My experience was from 1972. I was actually 6 years old then. We used to watch sort of movies late. There was one night I remember that we'd finished watching a movie and we all decided to have a sleepover downstairs. I was nominated to go upstairs to bring some pillowcases down and some pillows down. I remember always wanting to be the brave one and thinking I can always be a stormtrooper and I can always go and do things on my own. So I went upstairs and I picked up 2 pillows, but something distracted me on the top of the stairs. There was a bit of loose carpet and I started playing with the loose carpet at the top of the stairs. Picked up the pillows, put them on my lap, and I felt something really, really cold and it was on my right shoulder. I didn't actually feel it touching me. I just felt like a cold feeling all over my body. Right. And there was a certain smell. I remember turning to my right, and as I turned to my right, I remember seeing a man with blood on him and he had chains all over him, and I literally looked over like that. He didn't touch me, he didn't do anything to me, and it's really sort of, it's so clear in my mind. I kind of looked straight ahead, I didn't know what to do, and all I remember after that was rolling down the stairs. And then I remember everybody shouting and screaming, and I don't remember anything else after that. My mum also told us that she had witnessed the same person in the house, but she never told us because we were little. So that, that will never go away. And that sometimes comes back. I sometimes get that cold feeling. And I always think about the man I saw with chains and blood on him.
Along with this harrowing recount, my auntie also mentioned something about my grandfather that was particularly interesting.
We came from a very religious family, and my father used to practice de-spiriting.
She detailed here that my grandfather was a priest and used to perform religious exorcisms. This sent me running to my eldest uncle, Darshan, for more answers about my family history.
Could you tell me how you ended up in this house?
Right, but my dad worked originally in Banbury and he lost his job there. Then we moved to Wolverhampton. Then that's when we bought this house. This was a very cheap house, the cheapest house in the whole area. We paid £700 for this house. Houses in the areas were about 11, 12. But because we were, from Banbury, we did not know why this house was cheap. We just jumped to it and bought it. But later on, once we bought the house, we realized all the neighbors talking to us and saying, you shouldn't have bought this house. This is a haunted house. But once we bought it, it was too late. Dad was being a priest and he was not really scared of ghosts. And we was not that frightened because, like I said, we had lots of brothers and sisters. I think my mum said she could sense things, and she always said to me and my younger brother, don't go over that side because there's something there. And me being me, I wanted to see what that something was. So me and my brother built up enough courage one day, and we decided to go to this dark spot outside the garden. And so we got halfway into this alley where our mothers told us not to go. And then suddenly a woman appeared wearing a red coat. Just a figure of a woman wearing a red coat. Nowhere, in the middle, just appeared. So there's no other nothing leading to the alley. She used to just appear. And me and my brother, at that first time, we just got frightened and we run back into the house. Then we used to peek, and then every now and again, she wouldn't be there. Sometimes when you not least expect her, she would just appear. She never said nothing to us.
Yeah.
She just used to stand there like she was looking straight through you.
Were you scared?
We were at first, but then we grew up with her too.
That's crazy.
So it was crazy place.
Yes, Newton Place may have been crazy at times, but it was also a place filled with love and family and memories. There are thousands of cases like this one, and although we may never truly know what happened at Newton Place, it does make you think about the places that seem innocently normal. There may be more going on there than meets the eye.